Clash of Clans podcast, OG, episode 67. And welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Scotty827, hanging out here with the filthiest of the feral pigs. I think I'm just gonna go with the filthiest of the feral war pigs. WarPig, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Thanks for having me, Scotty.
It's good to have you on here. I've been meaning to pick your brain for a long time.
Yeah,
What's
I'm excited to be on. Yeah, it's one of the main reasons I'm still playing this game is because of this podcast. I think you got me hooked to it, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, you came to House of L like I was just trying to think. It was you've been there a year, right?
Yeah, I came as pretty much a max Town Hall 13, and I worked with GCBC a lot at the time, and he really helped me learn how to attack because I was very much a noob. I started playing December of 23, so I'll be 2 years from the end of this year.
Really? Well, you came in and you were like we were really close on the war map, I think.
Yes.
Like we were like neck and neck. Like, well, at first I think you were down a bunch and then you leaped up really fast. Now we're sitting about the same still, right?
All of a sudden you jumped. Like this month, we've been neck and neck, and I've actually been telling people on the side, I'm like, I'm trying to catch Scotty. And it seems like this month you just kind of jumped up like 6 spots.
I think it's those little bombs
Yeah.
because I did all of it during the Hammer Jam or what? Yeah, is that what Summer Jam event? All those bombs were done in I'm glad I wasn't the only one that noticed that because I was telling Swim about it, and I thought, well, maybe I'm just crazy.
Yeah. No, you all of a sudden you jump, you're in the top five, I think, right, of our clan right
Yeah,
now.
I think it was 4 on this last one. It
So
was
I think
weird.
I'm
I
sitting
just
at
didn't
10.
expect. Yeah, and so still relatively, like really, really pretty close. Are you working on supercharging?
I'm scattering in the supercharging, so I got all the core ones done. So like my monolith, the scatters, working on the ricochet cannons, multis.
Okay.
Um, and I just finished all my giant bombs. So I have
Did
all
you?
my regular defenses done, and it's just air bombs and little bombs, and I'll be caught up.
How long do you think till you're maxed?
I will be fully maxed before Town Hall 18 comes up. Um, so it's just a matter of how much do I prioritize the little bombs versus
Yeah.
supercharging and the other stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of the balance of it right now. What I think I did uh was I left like the little bombs and stuff. That was kind of my last, but I guess my storages are my last big things to do. But I started kind of using the strategic rushing on like using it with the supercharges. I don't know if that makes sense. Like looking at the time on those instead of factoring in what's, supposed to be fully maxed. You know what I'm saying? I guess
No, I think I know what you're saying. And so for me, I've been prioritizing stuff on what I think is going to help me more in competitions,
oh,
which is probably not as beneficial in the long run, right? Because I have prioritized some of the core superchargers over like doing some of my bombs, and like I just did my last archer tower. But because I thought I was like, all right, these level one superchargers are going to help me more in a competition
yeah.
than having a max archer.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so Warpig and I have been doing Clash Worlds. We're doing the uh CFF tournament right now. I guess before we get to that, where did you start out in Clash? Like what started you into the game and where were you before you came to L?
So I started, like I said, December of 23, and I started for real in December of 23. Um, I had COVID. I had COVID
Oh.
over Christmas, so I was like kind of down and out and isolated for a couple weeks. So I was like, oh, what's that game I played before? And I didn't even remember. I like looked it up. I was like, oh yeah, Clash of Clans. I'll play this. This will keep me busy for a couple weeks. And
And
then I
here you
just
are.
instantly got hooked, and I was instantly addicted to it. So
did you know people when you were that were playing?
nope, just came in completely solo.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
joined a clan that was called BOD. Still don't know what BOD stands for.
Okay.
Um, did some wars
Odd.
with them. Um, they were all also very new, very green players.
Okay.
Um, so around that time, I started watching like YouTube videos, kind of learning how to attack, and I was like, all right, I need people that can teach me this game. So I went to a competitive clan called the 181 Crew,
Ooh.
and they were just like 3-star everything. Like if you can't 3-star your mirror, then you shouldn't be here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and very very competitive. That was good, but it was almost a little too much as I was trying to learn.
Yeah.
And that's when I found your podcast. And I was a little hesitant to join because I felt like I was too new. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. Came over to the
Yeah.
House of L, and the community was very welcoming. And I learned so much, and I came up to speed pretty quick. I think I'm one of the top attackers in our clan,
Oh, yeah.
and it's because everyone was willing to just work with me and help me understand like mistakes I was making. So really
Yeah.
excited to have the community here.
You went to beast mode so fast. Like when you started up, and then it was just keep going and going. Was there like a certain breakthrough that you got? Like,
It was really just watching GCBC. Like, so me and GCBC had very similar attacks. We were using like a Smash Yeti kind of attack.
okay.
Um, and watching him, seeing how he funneled the corners. So, like, actually setting a proper funnel and getting everything into the core of the base. Once I figured that out, I was like, okay, I get it now. You can steer the
Yeah.
troops and make them do things.
Yeah. It's it's that funnel moment, isn't it?
It
Like,
is. Yeah.
was it for you also waiting, like taking your
Yeah. Well,
time?
yeah, because 3 minutes isn't that long.
Yeah,
So like, and
exactly.
I have to remind myself even now, I'm like, nope, just wait till that one other collector's down before you send in the army. If not, they're gonna split. Like just those little
Yeah.
tweaks. It's hard.
Do you have like a certain time now that you're like, I have to get this stuff rolling?
I don't because I've been doing the spirit walk.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's pretty much like, okay, once my RC's dead, then I just gotta quickly send in everything else so I don't time fail.
Yeah, what are you attacking with? Because you and Swim were really the first to really use the spirit walk. And you I remember seeing, I believe it was your attack where you use like a 9 or 11 when it first came out.
So
Um
when it first came out, I was using I think either 4 or 6, and I was
okay.
recalling her.
Yeah.
And that was the most success I had. So that was like a couple months ago, like when we did the last, not this last Worlds, the Worlds before. That was like hitting it like 90% success. I was doing awesome. And then all the bases caught up, and I was falling a little short. So I've been kind of tweaking my attack, and I went to the 11 Invis and Spirit Walk,
Yeah.
where you really push her in and trying to use the Invis redirect. I've been watching a ton of different YouTubers to really try to nail that down.
I remember seeing that. Uh, I remember seeing one of your attacks. I think it was in a comp or maybe it was in a war, and it was the first time I'd really seen that spirit walk um used at the time, right? So now it's kind of like commonplace to use it, but uh where you took out the outside wall, like you didn't try to go inside necessarily with the spirit walk and just took your time with it. And I was like, oh, that's what they're talking about. But I just didn't have, I'm better now, but the way that you can make the spirit walk, like make the invis spells look easy is pretty cool.
It's a
Um,
lot of fun, but it takes a lot of patience because it takes time to learn and like knowing where to drop it so you cover the fox and the RC is such a challenge. And it still burns me to
yeah,
this day. Like I've been doing it for months and I'll still get it wrong. And then as soon as the fox is dead, I'm like, all right, now I'm in trouble.
yeah. Well, well, I'd see that, and I'm like, there's just no way, because you made it look like they're dancing, right? And then I'm over here, and I can't get it through three invis without a, and then just watching, like you and the others, especially in the competitions with the tight, uh, when it's really tight and every ounce is needed, was really helpful. Um, so what is your current army? I
So
guess we should.
I'm kind of experimenting right now. Lately I've been watching um Apotheus, if I'm saying it right. So Logan, he streams a lot. He's got a Discord that I've been following and I've been copying a lot of his attacks. So currently I'm doing an invis, spirit walk with 11 invises. And I run dragons, in case anybody didn't already know that, but I'm pretty much a dragon. Or,
Master.
yeah. And so I'll do like mass dragons, and I'm using right now an ice hound. And I'll
Oh,
send the ice hound in and I'll ice block the ice hound. And that works as almost like a second eternal tome because that'll shield everybody so I can hang on to my warden ability much deeper into the attack.
wow. So you, okay, so you build your funnel, right? You do
So
your spirit walk.
I spirit walk and I try to go right into the middle of the base, like cut the base in half and go right into the core with the spirit walk. If you can get your RC into the middle of the base, like the base is melted at that point and you're good.
Yeah. I've watched some people attack my base
And
with
then
that.
so I'll do that. I'll try to cut the core in half, cut the base in half with a spirit walk. And then on the weaker side, the lighter side, I'm actually dropping a king with the snake bracelet and the
Ooh,
spiky ball
okay.
and a siege barracks.
Okay.
And on the other side, I'll drop my dragons with the minion prince and the warden. And I love the dark crown on the minion prince. I'm a
Do
huge
you?
fan of that. My favorite piece of equipment.
You were the first one that was using it, so I'm curious about it.
I stockpiled a bunch of ore. So before I had already decided, I was like, I'm using the epic piece of equipment for the minion, whether it's good or bad, because I'm stubborn.
I'm gonna love this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it work.
And it's been working for me because yes, he's squishy, but as long as you keep him, just have a half a second delay behind the dragons, it's pretty rare that he runs off by himself. So I can usually keep him behind the dragons where they're kind of tanking for him. Especially now that I'm using the Ice Hound, he'll usually eat up a bunch of the air bombs.
And so you drop the ice hound then in first with the
It,
dragons?
it depends on how far away the air defense is. If I'm going right at an air defense, I'll drop him first. If the air defense is a couple buildings away where they can't reach my dragons right when I drop them, I'll drop the dragons first, then throw in the Ice Hound. And as he kind of gets past the dragons, and like let's say he's getting, all the core defenses are now aiming at him, I'll ice block him. So he's distracting for all my dragons as they come into the core of the base.
Ooh, that's really interesting. And it is. I'll have to. I'll follow up on that troop a little bit later. So what is it that you're experimenting with?
I'm
Is it
going back and
just
forth. Yeah, so I'm going back and forth on if I like the king or the queen more.
oh
And it's kind of base dependent. So sometimes I like the king because with the snake bracelet, he's awesome walking around the outside.
yeah
But sometimes having the queen and her giant arrow, if you get a good base where you can get two air defenses and a sweeper, the value is so
oh
huge. Um, So I'm playing with that. I'm also playing with, I am struggling nowadays, especially now that I'm getting into higher legends. It just getting my RC into the core is becoming harder and harder.
To kind of wrap it around the outside.
Yeah, and
The
I feel like I'm
defenses.
just wasting too many invis to push her in.
Hmm.
So I've actually just today and yesterday I've been kind of playing with doing the double epic on the RC and not using the Spirit Fox and just starting with the what is it with the spear and
Or
just
just hitting
pushing
the.
her in. Yeah, and then using a revive spell later on back and bringing her back at the end.
Okay, so you keep the electro boots
Keep
and
the
the
electric boots, but
and the
get
spear.
rid of but put the Phoenix on her versus the
Oh,
Spirit Fox. So now you're just doing the 4 second cycles versus the 7 and the 3.
yeah. Do you drop it on with your invis? Do you drop on the 7?
Yeah, I drop on 7 and 3.
Okay, that's what
So on the
I've been doing
first
too.
one, if you drop on 6, you can skip it, right? So if you drop on 6, you can skip the 3 and drop on the 7, so you can get yourself an extra cycle.
Okay. So if anybody's out there and they don't know what we're talking about, if you are looking at the clock, right, when you drop your RC at the very beginning, her invis is going to last um X amount of seconds. And so if you drop the invis on the 7s, like you hit it on the 7, uh it takes a second to drop and then she's covered. There'll be a 1 second gap or something like that between, and then
Correct. Yeah, if you hit it on 7, if you hit it perfectly, right as the clock hits 7, the last digit is a 7 or a 3, your Fox and your RC will stay alive.
that was one of the most helpful tidbits to learn when trying to do that RC walk, because you can kind of shut off the part of the counting a little bit or get distracted a little bit and come back to it.
Well, and it's easy too because if you're not if you mess up your timing, it's so easy to just start dropping and like panic dropping them.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you just start getting nervous and you panic drop it, and the
and
next thing you know, you're out of invises and you got no value.
and you can't really tell if she's invised while the invis is on.
But
I don't know. I lose that in my
I don't
graphic.
I don't understand how some of the YouTubers can just do it so calmly. Because like I laugh because you talk about how you go into a little bit of a panic during
Yeah,
your attacks.
yeah.
I do the same thing, and like I
Dude.
have to remind myself, I'm like, take a breath, like you're okay.
That was only 3 minutes long. It was like I was in there for a day.
And I've been trying to add the earthquake into my spirit walk.
Oh, really?
So like especially like if you go to double rage base, if you drop one of the earthquake on one of the rage towers, you get a ton of value. But
Oh,
trying to drop that and not miss time your invis is super
yeah.
challenging.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm also using ice block on the RC, which can be awesome because if you're going at an invis base, like if you know that the core
Yeah.
is like an invis rage base, like this one of the popular bases in the meta right now. Um, as long as you can ice blocker, like it just negates the invis tower. It's awesome. But it's again, it's so easy to like fat finger something and misclick and boom, your RC's dead.
Yeah, that's as you're saying that, I'm just thinking to myself, I try to limit the amount of clicks that I have to do. Not really, but like if my bar gets too many troops, because it seems like lately I'm like accidentally touching things and
Yes.
dropping things at random times, like to the point where it's happening often, like often.
Just this morning, I dropped a recall spell when I was supposed to drop an earthquake spell. And I was like, come on.
Oh, yeah. I suppose they kind of look like each other too. The colors.
Uh, yeah,
Uh,
I do the same thing. So I'll go online and I use, armies that pro players take, and I'll try to simplify it. I'm like, do I really need a minion and archers in this? And I'll be like, let's just bring 3 or 4 different troops instead of 7.
yeah. Yeah, and like go with what works. Like cuz
Yes.
there's just some troops I don't know what it is, but because you think about like the whole game, right? Like everybody could just be rolling one army, but it seems like people just have this like automatic preference or just would rather use something, or just like I don't know, it's just their preferred tool. It's
Yeah,
kind of
I
cool
agree
to
with that.
see how that. So it's kind of looking at like so I guess for me what that means is like when I look at those players like you're saying, is saying what are they accomplishing with these pieces and what can I put in that I like use, like I want to shove my super minion in, like it just I don't know why, I love that thing, so I got to put it in. But
I've been really liking the rocket loons. I guess that's something I use in most of my armies that I didn't mention before. Is I, the rocket loons being able to snipe something early on, or if you got to save them for the town hall at the end, having 4 rocket loons is
four,
super helpful for me. Yeah.
will four of them take out a town hall?
Yes.
I might have to do that. I'm kind of looking. I don't know if it's like that for you, but like there's about a 20 space in my army that I can play with. Um and then I start to just massage the army that way a little bit forward, a little bit at a time. You look at my saved armies, it's like an evolution of things.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, and I'm constantly like nowadays I'm trying to tweak it more because like I don't know, I feel like I keep hitting in like the 90% range, like upper 90%. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I just like, how can I tweak my army to make this consistently get that extra 5%? And like, I haven't found the magic spot yet, but I'm working on it.
It is weird when you start, maybe it's I guess there's like for me it feels like there's a little bit different between hitting 95 and then like the 97, 98, where it's like in that 95, 93 range. I feel like, okay, there's something that major that has to shift or something. Like I'm this close. So the last time this was happening, well, I mean it's always happening, but when it got to be dialed up, I switched out the uh healing tome for the life gem. Boom, started to kind of push it past that couple percent hump.
Okay.
So that's always the, I guess, the place where you fiddle. And so if you're right there, it must just be something, right? Like,
It,
or is it
it,
back end
uh,
troops or
and honestly, I think a lot of it for me right now is just not being like when you're hitting a fully max base, you need to be perfect. At least I do. Like if I miss one spell, if I miss one thing, like boom, that
yeah,
there's that 5% that I needed.
you know, RC
And I,
dies. Oh,
yeah, and we were talking about that before the pod started. Like one of the things like state of the game is I keep seeing the pros consistently go 320 in Legend League. And I'm like, I don't know how they can be
yeah.
perfect every hit. Like, cause I'm not. And it's just it's an interesting place for it right now.
Yeah, how are they? Is there a point that you get to in the game where you just completely see every base? Is it their brains wired? I don't I don't know.
I,
Cause
I don't know either. I don't know how they're. I just I'm like, are their reflexes just that much faster than mine, where they can just
yeah.
react so efficiently?
you know, I wonder if hand size has something to do with it too.
That's
Right?
true. Yeah.
Are they more dexterous? Well, what do you think though? I mean, like, I guess, do you feel like it's in balance? Like, uh, it
Yeah.
does. I know what
So
you mean. Like, there's certain people that will say it's too easy, or you hear about people saying the stuff. Um, I don't know. What's your take on it?
I, I'm kind of torn about it, and I sent something the other day in the leader chat, right? Because I was actually getting a little frustrated because I'm not hitting, I'm not having as much success as I was a few months ago. And that's tough for me. I'm very competitive. I'm a competitive person. I want to be hitting at an elite level.
Yeah.
And right now I'm consistently not. And it can be frustrating, but that's where it goes back to having a good community where you can talk through it. Like, okay, let's tweak the attack. Let's not be scared to try new things.
Yeah.
Um, it's just getting through that. But no, I think the game is hard, despite what what the
Yeah.
pros say.
Yeah. I I do too. Um yeah, kind of it'd be interesting to pick the brain of like how they're even processing. What did because I saw that chat too, and I don't think I weighed in on it. Oh, I did. I just said this is how I experience the game at all the time. um, what'd you kind of take away from that? Other people too?
Yeah, well, it's good to see, like, because it's nice to see that our other top attackers are have the same frustrations.
Yeah,
So being able to talk through it with some of your clan mates and just be like, "Hey, I'm getting frustrated." It was nice to be able to talk through it, vent a little bit, instead of just getting frustrated and closing the game, right? Like,
yeah,
okay, other people are feeling this way. I'm gonna continue to tweak my attack, play with new things. Who cares about the stats at the end of the month? I know I'm a good attacker. How can I
yeah,
keep messing with it to become, a great attacker?
yeah. And those stats, they don't really tell you the story of the stuff, anyways, right? Because it's like there's fresh hits, and then there's the other hits, and then you're trying new things, during that month, and so you just kind of
Yeah,
have to like,
in the stats, you can massage those. Like if I wanted to, like if I just started hitting some of the lower Town Hall 17s, I could have an excellent war rating, but I don't want to do that. I want to hit some of the top bases. Like I'm
yeah, you're
so
pushing yourself to,
exactly.
yeah. Yeah, and that's why, like, even when we start to talk about how are we gonna decide on the CWL roster, right? As we get more 17s, and like last month we had it was almost 17s, and we could almost done two clans of 17, I think.
Yeah, I think we're
Um,
pretty close.
like, how do you then decide? Okay, if L is in Masters one, um, L2 is in Masters 3, right? These are always I always get these. It's like third degree, first degree, always in my entire life. um, then how do you like decide on the roster? Because if you look at the straight up war stars, does that give you the full picture?
Yeah,
And
and I don't think it does. And I've mentioned this in our clan chats. I think there has to be some subjectivity to it,
yeah,
right? I know there's a lot of clans that have it based on like, hey, here's the stats. Okay, that's great. But then it's kind of forcing people, you tell me how you're going to measure me, I will hit those measurements. So if CDL WL is going to be based on war stars, I'm not going to take as many risks in war. I'm going to hit bases that I'm comfortable three starring, down in the 10 to 15 range and
yeah,
just three
yeah,
star every war. But
just to
that's
make the
not
list.
exactly, that's not the best for the clan
Yeah,
because I feel like, you, me, Swim, Beer, Daddy, some of the hitters who are having more success right now should hit the top bases. Um,
yeah.
I don't know. So,
And even if
even if, yeah,
even if it's not the smartest play, right? Like, maybe if you were just looking at a straight up war, maybe it would be better for our top attackers to hit down, right? Just to win, like however it is, the strategy. But I don't think that's how we are oriented. Like, it's like, it's about challenging yourself, kind of pushing, even if it means like we're a little bit looser,
correct. And
you
I like
know?
that about L. I like the fact that like there's no set rule. You have to do this. You have to hit your mirror. I like it's like hit what you think you can three star. Be aggressive, but don't hit way outside your limit. Like if you're in, you know, you have 5,100 trophies in Legends, don't hit the top base because you haven't seen a fully supercharged base. And I don't think people are. I don't think people are reaching too
Yeah.
high, but I like to see that certain people do step up. I love when a new person hits the number one base. It's good to see that. And I'm like, yeah, go for it.
Well, and yeah, and you look at it like if we're 17s, most of us all have the same level of troops, right? Too. And it's like,
Correct.
okay, you can hit here and here. Um, and yeah, and I think what's kind of happened over the last year, because I think war was always about practicing and getting better, but our wars are more about training for CWL. Cause like that's where I feel like we put most of our emphasis. Like, that's the one big event. And that each of these wars we're trying to win and we're really doing it, but we're not playing it. We're not playing it with a strategy we would play in CWL.
I agree with that. Yeah. And I
So
think we've had a couple new members that struggled with that recently that came and left.
yeah.
And maybe we need to do a better job of just articulating that. Like, yeah, hey, war, it's important to us that you try your best and you get all your hits in, but
Yeah.
we're really playing for CWL, and we encourage people to try new things during a regular war to make sure that you're in the best position you can be for CWL.
Yeah, it's like for me it feels like okay, I'm doing really good with this army in Legend League and in other things I'm in my FCs. I'm going to I'm going to take a risk and maybe go for a base that I'm not like a hunt, that I know is um gonna be challenging, um, so that I can try out that army in war conditions, so that I know when we get to CWL, like I should have the ability to do it. Does that make
Or you're
sense?
like, or yes, or you're like, you know what? That base isn't a good match for my army. So
Yeah,
I'm going to avoid it. And I tried it once. I know. So I'm not going to relive
yeah,
that mistake.
yeah. Well, I failed on this base or a very similar base to this the last time. So how do I do it? Yeah, and I think like, and especially, I think if you come to L, we got a really tight CWL, and then we come back from CWL and kind of oriented, and then the last 2 weeks, it's kind of like people are kind of catching a breath, and it kind of can seem a little disorganized, because you'd imagine like if you came in, like our the week where we have the most missed attacks is usually right before CWL. I mean, it's not saying there's like a ton. I'm just like, but if I pinpointed it, I would think it would be like the week before, which you wouldn't think. But I think everybody's like, hey, we got a big week next week, and trying out these different things and getting ready. Um, how do you feel about the bases we've been getting?
The ones that you've been purchasing,
Yeah,
I think they've been great. Actually, the one I got did very well. I think I had the top performing defense in CWL. Um,
nice.
I have seen it a couple times in the wild now, so I think it's getting burned, but it performed well last CWL, which was awesome.
Yeah, you really see like a very similar style,
Yep.
to the bases that we got, and it makes me wonder now how many. I mean, the base building. I guess that there's copying, but like it's even bigger than I thought. More influential, I guess, as you kind of see like these.
It's huge. And having like if you hit, so I'm using the haste on my spirit walk. If you hit the haste as soon as you hit the tornado spell, like you just wasted that ability. And the base builders know like this is the spot where they're gonna hit it. And like more
Yeah,
often than not, like sometimes I'll have to avoid it. Like I'm like, that's where I want to go in, but I bet you the tornado is right there. So I'm gonna enter a little bit different, even though it's lesser value anticipating the tornado trap.
yeah. There's a one spot on my base that it's just like they come in every time during the. So, what does your Legend League day look like then? Like, what's your? I'm always curious about this because it's like I hear everybody talking about perfect days, but I'm never that close to a perfect day.
Yeah, so and this is part of my frustration because while I was venting the other day to the clan, a couple months ago I was consistently hitting 300 in Legend League, even towards the end of the month. Um, since then, and I'd say that was right before the new defense. Nowadays, this month I'm hitting probably closer around 250-ish, so I saw a pretty big drop.
Yeah.
But I've been experimenting a lot more. I'm trying new attacks, and I'm hovering right now right around like 5,600 trophies, which is fairly high for where we are in the season. Um, and it's funny, I'll do good one day, so I'll have like a near 300 day, and then I'll jump up to that next invisible wall that you and Tip have talked about. Like you hit that wall, and
Yeah.
it's all of a sudden you're in that elite players where everyone has like top of the line bases, fully supercharged, and then I drop back down, and then I'm like kind of walking that line.
What are your defenses like during a normal day?
Um, I'd say about the same. So I've actually had a pretty good defense. I think my defenses have been around like 220, 240-ish. So I'm
Huh.
usually plus or minus 40 depending on how I hit.
I gotta switch it up a little bit. Change up my. It might be my CC now that I'm thinking about it as we're talking because I'm always curious. Like I'm running about 10, 15 on a day. Like at this point of the month. I mean, to see a big leap is really hard just because now I'm like seeing more defenses against me. Um, but
So yeah, yesterday I was minus 260.
yeah, let me see what my yesterday. Like maybe we're about the
Today
same.
I'm not looking good. So today I got one, two, three, four. I have five triples against my base today. So today's going to be a rough day for me in Legends.
It's like when you wake up, or for me, when I wake up and I see the open clash, and then I see a 40, minus 40, minus 40. I go, oh God, I'm gonna really have to dig in today. If I see like minus 26, minus 32, I'm like, okay, this should be all right. But it feels like there's like every other day, the base just gets. I don't even switch it anymore because one day it might just get hit, bam, 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 and then I go, it'll be fine tomorrow. Yesterday for me was minus 244, but with a missed attack. Plus 260. But it seems like I run about 260. That's just my
Yeah, I think I'm about in that same.
yeah.
Because for me, and I had this conversation with I think with Beer Zombie and Daddio. My mark is 270. If I'm more than 270, I call it a successful day. If I'm
Okay.
under 270, to me, then I didn't meet, the bar I set for myself.
Okay. That's you're the first person that's kind of said yeah that's like about the same range. I guess nobody's really like articulated like that. So it's just good for me to know that they're because you don't know how your defenses are really measuring up against other people's, right? Like, am I
Yeah,
doing well in attacking, but I could be doing better by defending more? Um,
yeah. So I'm talking for attacking. That's for
yeah,
my defense. It is what it is. Like I don't have a fully max base, so I know that it gets to a point where I'm just going to get tripled when I'm playing the top players. So for
uh,
me, I'm looking more like how am I doing attack wise? Am I staying in the positive? As long as I'm staying positive, even if it's only a couple medals, that's good enough. And then as soon as my base is doing worse than I'm doing consistently, then I'll go and I'll use one of the Discord servers and download a new base.
do you think base design has more to do with succeeding than you did before, or like the
Yes. So a good base design, if I can't get into the core with my RC, I'm in trouble.
but I mean like so even if you're not a max base, do you think it's It's kind of a dumb question, I guess. I mean, is it design over strength of the pieces? Is maybe where I'm like, could
No,
somebody
I don't.
with a less
I
max base just by design?
no, I don't. Honestly, if the base is if they don't have max defenses, or even if they just don't have supercharged defenses, I expect to be able to triple it.
Okay.
And then as soon as you start adding in, a higher level crafted defense and the supercharges, that's that extra 5 to 10% that that'll slow me down.
Maybe it all makes sense too, is that it's July. Everybody's been upgrading all year. That all these, it just starts to pile up and add on and new defenses and everything like that. Um, maybe, but we probably won't be getting too much tougher, right? Like through the rest of the year because,
Agreed. I think we're like you and me, we're at a point where in Legends we're hitting pretty much max bases
yeah,
consistently.
it's kind of fun.
It is. It's a challenge.
Um, so we were doing the Double Trouble tournament. Um, Speaking of challenging, uh, so your first match, you guys, it's you and Chewy, right?
Yep. So me and Chewy are a team. So the double trouble, it's two versus two, in normal mode,
I like that.
which is awesome.
Yeah. Who'd you
Yeah,
play first?
we won. I forget who we played first, but they were definitely they were both fully maxed players. And both Chewy and I had high 2 stars, and both of us were like, we're done. Like that wasn't enough. We're playing against some pretty elite people. And we got lucky. One of their attacks also didn't do well, and we won it on percent.
Wow.
But much different story than you and Swim, because you guys performed better than us. I'll let you tell the story. But
Oh yeah. Well, I was happy with my performance in a tournament for once. So Swim and I went up against SG Bilal. I'm Bilal, I think is how to pronounce it, and only Sanju. And we got in there, and I've been really practicing with this one army that I'm really digging. Um, and Swim went in. We both threed, and I felt really good about my attack after that. The other team threed both of theirs as well, and we lost on time by 20 seconds. So it was a good way to go out of the tournament for sure.
yeah,
Um,
and I watched that war, so I spectated to the whole thing, which is nice. I like that you can spectate. So I joined. We do our comp wars in Al Warborn, which is one of our sister clans. So I was in there just kind of testing myself with friendly challenges when Scotty and Swim came over,
yeah.
and I was like, sweet. So I watched their wars, and both your attacks were like perfect. Like they went so well
It looked like I
against.
knew what I was doing for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, they were awesome because you're using the furnace attack, which is so fun to watch. I love watching all those fire mites storm a base. It's just a fun attack.
Yeah, now that I'm figuring it out, I'm really digging it. Uh, he so afterwards we were chatting, and let's see what he said to me, because I thought it was kind of funny, because I don't know, my army must be just different looking a little bit. Um,
Well, at the
he's
end, when all the fire mites are coming together into the core of the base, like
mm,
just watching that, it's just like you don't see that on other attacks. It's such a unique because there's so many things getting hit at once.
and the one big thing with my attack that I learned, and this was my breakthrough that has pushed me to start doing really well with it, is that I don't clone the fire mites unless I accidentally. I'm cloning the snot.
Okay,
So
interesting.
I wait until about 2/3 of the way through the attack, and when the snots are kind of going over to a part of the base that I is the weak side, I clone the snots, and because I was accidentally they were accidentally getting cloned with my fire mites, and I realized the only time I was winning mostly was when those things got cloned. So I was like, let me just um start trying that. And he said, "What is the name of that strategy?" It feels like you guys improvised it. Like I think he thought when he saw my attack that I just looked at the base and just did a goofy army or something.
You just made. I wish I was that good, where I could just say, you know what, based
Yeah.
based on this base, I'm gonna make the army right now.
What the hell is that? Did you just throw something together?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. And
Well,
so
I
you
guess that. Well, I don't know. Sorry, continue.
no no
I
no
gotta
no go
point to
for it.
that. Yeah. So I guess building on that, right? Like that theme. I've been watching a lot of the Carbon Fin videos, and they do like the is it like take three, where you have to pick things that you can use and only your team can use versus the other.
Oh
Um,
really?
so it forces you on the spot to come up with a unique strategy. I really like that concept. I think it's cool. It forces you to kind of get outside of your comfort zone and try new things that you wouldn't try regularly.
Do they do that in like Legends or War or?
Yeah, so they're doing like a bunch of competitions where they do that. And so they'll do, you pick something that only your team or that no one can use. So like a lot of times they say like no electro boots, no fireball. And then you pick three things that only your team can use and the other team can't.
Oh, that's what we did with our Tuesday challenges.
Correct, but they take it one step further where they have like things that only your team can use versus we just had straight up bans.
That was pretty fun.
That was a lot of fun.
So we just separated into two teams, and it was three troops that you couldn't use, right? Was that what it was?
No, we said one troop, one piece of equipment. It was like one of everything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we said we banned one of everything, and you banned it for the other team, and we didn't tell the other team until the start of the war.
That was really fun. That was really cool.
So, like for you guys, or whoever was playing me, me and Chewie were the two captains. Chewie banned dragons because he knows I like dragons so much,
Oh yeah.
and I banned what was the troop? I think I banned heat roots. I banned root riders, right? To take
Yeah.
away the two meta troops for us.
I think I was on your team for that.
Yeah, I think you were because you had the furnaces, and I feel like you did really well because I don't think your army was as affected as mine was.
Yeah, that was the yeah, it was I thought for sure the furnaces were gonna get banned. I was for sure they were gonna come from me. But it was yeah, the fireball was banned, or was it for them or for us? I can't remember. So I didn't really actually get hit too bad with it.
Yeah.
Um I did want to talk about the Judah Sloth video. I know you haven't watched it, so I wanted to fill you in. So if you haven't seen it, Judo Sloth released a new video a couple days ago, Judah Sloth 2. He talks about some of the things that are going to be coming up. The one big thing that they announced was a new troop. And the new troop is called the Elephant Rider. It was, if I don't know if you remember the fan competition. It
Yes, I do. And I actually did see a picture of the elephant rider, so I
did
do know what
you?
you're talking about. Yes, I
Did you think
did.
it was a joke when you saw it?
No, I thought I knew it was real because I think I saw it like posted on like a Discord or something.
So it's a picture of an elephant rider and a guy with a like pointed hat with a mace, and it says so they've got like the graphic. So this was the winner of the competition. Um, the hit points on the elephant are 4,900. DPS is 90. Ground targets, favorite target is defense. Single target, 16 movement speed. The rider is 2,600 points. DPS is 2,800. Targeting ground, any favorite target, damage type, area splash, mo- moment speed 24. It almost seems like it's And so what they have on the bottom is really like the root rider and the Belk put together. But it almost also seems like an element of the Super Hog Rider, maybe.
But well, that's kind of where I went with it. It's like a super hog rider, where it's like you
Yeah.
take the hog and you make him, you know, 4 times as tough.
The housing space is 30. That
That's actually
seems
pretty low for because doesn't it damage walls too? Doesn't the elephant like smash walls?
destroying large wall segments. Yep.
Like that's
Let me go to my
huge.
other graphic here. After split, Elephant act as a tanky unit similar to the Mighty Yak. Elephant deals extra damage to walls. Oh, look, I could read the whole thing. Rider runs into a wall, destroying large wall segments, splits into two separate. Elephant Rider deals no damage while riding the elephant. After split, Elephant act as tanky unit similar to the Mighty Yak. Elephant deals extra damage to walls. After split, the rider runs between nearby buildings and can damage several buildings at once. The raider the rider attack is similar to the Valkyrie. That is going to be an OP troop.
Is that the new troop or is that just a temporary troop? I thought it was a temporary troop.
All I know, it was labeled new troop, and they
Interesting.
talked
Okay.
about it as a new troop. But they didn't give a timeline on when it was coming. And what they have up here on the video was just like a kind of a rendering that I don't know if they did from the drawing or whatnot. The other thing that they showed during that, and it wasn't really quite clear to me, because it sounded like there were two winners of the contest, uh, or the runner up here, right? But I don't know if this is actually going to be introduced or not, because they only talked about the rider, but talking about two winners, and maybe taking more stuff from the community that didn't win, but they liked their ideas. The Goblomancer.
Hmm.
Um, and it just says, and I just screenshotted it from the video because it just went by pretty quick. But it said plays a little animation throwing a peg goblin at targeted defense that orbits around it, and it's kind of cut off here. Every throws another peg goblin, max 3 per target. After a peg goblin is thrown, every attack by the Goblomancer who threw it summons as many goblins as there are around the building. Multiple Goblomancers don't something targeting the same building unless the Goblomancer something active peg leg orbiting. Very squishy and slow attack speed. Medium high base damage to prevent too many from being summoned. Relatively low camp space. So it kind of looks like it um, throws like a swirl of goblins around something. Like it's like a wizard, like a potion that throws a wizard lady witch, I guess. Like a witch that throws a spell that have these little goblins. So I don't know if that's actually gonna um make it into the game. That wasn't clear to me. I don't really use goblins.
That would be pretty awesome. I'm ready for it to be shaken up, be something different than the current meta. So I welcome it.
Well, that is I guess one of the other big pieces of news. He did talk about the community manager did talk about uh a preview, only one thing he could say about Town Hall 18, and that it was going to introduce a brand new game mechanic that we haven't seen just
it
for Town Hall 18.
that scares me because I hope it's not controllable heroes. I think that's too much of a change.
Yeah, I wonder what. I don't. I don't know what sense I got. I I don't know. I didn't feel like it was going to be that for some reason, just
But
because of the way they've talked about it in those other videos as like as an event and not necessarily a function. Maybe.
I hope that's the case because I don't think they have that dialed enough, and I think it just changes the game too much if they tried to like put in controllable heroes as a
You know, I
into the actual attacks.
if if I'm right, I do believe because I was listening, try to make sense of it. It did sound to me like it was a brand new mechanic we haven't seen yet in the game.
Hmm, okay.
So rewound that part. I really got a sense that it maybe wasn't that, and I wouldn't mind it, but not as like throw into a whole new town hall to commit to it. That's why I don't think they would probably do something like that,
Okay, good.
right?
I hope
Be,
not.
yeah, people wouldn't want to. I don't want to go up to Town Hall 18 because of the heroes. Um, he did give some. Okay, well, I'll give a couple different things, and then I'll ask you some of these things. He did say eagle decorations are coming, and I know they said it before, but it's ready, just has to be deployed. They were talking about a decoration limit. Have you heard anything about this?
Well, I've heard that people are running out of room, so they need to come up with something to address it.
And they talked on there about doing a hall, like storing them in your in a storeroom or trophy room or something like that. And basically, they said no solution yet. A sanctuary, I think, as they called it. But what it did sound like was coming was the ability to hide the decorations. You toggle the hide decorations when
Hmm.
attacking, I think.
Oh, that would be nice because they can be pretty distracting.
Yeah. You can't find anything. Um,
Why not just make the outside of the base bigger so you just have more real estate outside of what you can attack? Like, that seems like a pretty easy
yeah,
one to solve to me.
like a trophy mountain or something where you
Yeah,
could place your trophies along the outside or trophy walk.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Um, troop skins, they said were coming. As they once they've got the troops in 3D mode or 3D um graphics. So it sounds like it's in the works, but they weren't. I don't think it's anytime very soon because it seemed like they had to figure out like how to define them by levels, like in there with their new garb.
Yeah, and I think it's a cool idea to have troop skins.
Oh hell yeah,
Um, I'm not too much of a cosmetic player. Like I don't usually buy a ton of skins or sceneries. Um, I will buy them if I think it's going to make my attack better because they're more visible.
yeah,
That's like the only time I'll get
yeah.
one.
That's what I really look at that too. Is like, ooh, am I going to be able to see it? Is it brighter than my one that I have? That's why I really like this season's um skins a lot. But imagine like you get a Ghostbusters theme, and then all your troops are wearing Ghostbusters jackets.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh man, that should be Supercell partner with Ghostbusters for the Halloween. That would be amazing.
And you could make the like all your minions like the green guy there. Get his name.
Yeah. Oh, Slimer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the
Oh.
hounds. The hounds would be a perfect Slimer.
Oh my God. Jeez, we did it again. It's a
You're welcome,
winner.
Supercell.
Welcome, Supercell. Um, I think that was all the big ones from that. They did ask a couple questions, so how about I pose them to you and
Okay.
to anybody who hasn't? So these are like crazy stats, right? That um, I think that's the first one. So the first one that Judo asked was how many, or no, the community manager asked how many town halls have been destroyed in 2025.
Oh, you want me to guess?
Yeah,
Just Town Hall 17s or all of them?
all of them.
Oh, it's got to be like, I don't know, 20, 30 million?
Higher,
100? 100 million?
higher.
Oh, geez, how many?
10 billion.
Holy crap.
None of them were mine. No, I'm just joking. What is the most used troop in 2025?
I actually know this one, so I wouldn't have guessed it right. It's a loon, right?
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
balloon.
Yeah. I would
I
have
was
guessed dragon.
That's what I was thinking, or I was thinking healer, just
Well,
because of the
a lot of air,
healer
a lot of
puppet.
air. Oh yeah, a lot of air armies don't use healers though.
Yeah, that's true. And then they were talking about it as maybe being, or Judo was saying, was gonna guess like the barb, or I think he did guess a barb or archer. Um, it is a little surprising, but what is the least used troop in 2025?
I know this one too. It's the ice sound, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Which
when
is
you
interesting
said
because
that
I'm
earlier,
using it. Yeah,
which do you think that means it's gonna get a buff?
I hope so because it would help me out right now.
Yeah, I never thought about that in the ice block. That's really, really cool thing. What is the most used piece of equipment in 2025?
Um, it's either going to be the electro boots or eternal tome, right?
Ding ding. It is the Eternal Tome.
Okay,
Oh,
everybody uses the eternal tome.
you're good at this. I got none of them right. Okay.
Well,
Um,
I saw something on about the troops, so I knew the answer to those ones.
do you know
I
which one?
saw it.
Oh, you cheated.
I cheated.
You
I saw that on one of the
didn't know there was
Discord
going to be a
channels. Yeah,
test.
yeah.
Did you see what the least use was?
The
A
least
piece of equipment?
that one I didn't know that one. Oh no, I didn't see that either. So least used, it's got to be the lava puppet, right? That
Yep.
the lava loon. Got it. No
Ding
one uses that.
ding. Winner. Um, I think that was, oh, the last question. How many clan wars have there been in 2025?
So you said 10 billion town halls got attacked.
Yep.
So I'd say half a billion.
24 million.
Okay, so I was way off on that one.
You just switched your, if we were to just switch your
Yep.
answers out, that'd be perfect. Very well done.
Thank you. I would like to recap too, just on the some of the friendly challenge stuff, and then
Oh,
whatever you
yeah.
got for me.
Friendly Wars?
Yeah, yeah, if you didn't mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the friendly wars and just encourage people to play, right? So I think right now there's a stigma that to do some of these competitions that you need to be this elite player that has everything dialed. And I just want to make sure everyone knows, like, no, the point of these friendly wars is to try new things, experiment, laugh with your clan, and just it's a lot of fun when you get a lot of people engaged,
Yeah.
and everyone's just trying new attacks. It's awesome.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit before about getting some friendlies going in the House of L before the week before CWL and about our participation. And we're just talking about how, like, getting into part of these comps or even just into the competitions, like if that we're talking about even on the podcast, like if you're out there in your other clan, um, they're not, I mean, we're not like, the hard mode ones are a little bit different, I think, too, right? But even those, they're not what I thought they would be necessarily, of like these, um, you'll run across these like really hardcore clans, but um the competition is all different levels for one. And I think in the House of L, for us is not about going out and you know taking the best team that we have to win, but taking people who want to just participate in and go through those competitions. And I think like what you're saying too is that just doing them makes you better.
Yeah, it does. It takes you out of your comfort zone. You kind of get put like it's the first couple you do, like there's a lot of pressure, or at least you have this perceived pressure. Like no one's no
Yeah.
one cares.
No.
But it's good to go through that a couple times. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, no one really cares. Like you'll get some tips from your teammates like, hey, like maybe adjust this, try this, but it's all positive feedback that's gonna make you a better player, which I really like that aspect of it.
And when we walk away from those, I couldn't even tell you how many we won and how many we lost in that day, really. Like, unless we were on a streak or something, because I'm just like, that was awesome. We played all these different ones, but it's just like next one to the next one, like in Worlds or whatever, or just those ones where you just go match those different clans. It wasn't high stakes. And
Correct.
I think like the one I walked away, maybe I got a 1 star. It's like everybody's going to walk away with a 1 star at one point. Everybody's going to walk away with a low 2 star. It's it's like just the roll of the dice, and making it work. Um, and you could just see that across the whole team. So if you're in the House of L, um, it would be awesome just to have you participate if you want to participate. But I would encourage people out there to just try to get involved. I feel like that those first worlds, I learned more in a couple hours than I did in months of regular gameplay.
Agreed. And just like speaking about worlds in particular, like you're going when you go into worlds, like we are one of the lower skilled
Yeah,
teams, which I'm okay with. Like we've come to terms with that. You're going against some of like the top 0.01% of the players of this game, and
right.
just watching them attack is pretty. Sorry for my dog, but it's
Oh no.
pretty awesome to see them go in and attack.
Well, and it kind of use that analogy too, right? Like it's not often, even if you're, you know, small town football team to go against the world champions, Super Bowl holders, in like you might go up against one clan that's, you win against, and the next one they come in and these, oh my God, it's that clan. Right. And so just, yeah, it's being able to see him attack, but just being able to play in the same
It,
arena is fun.
and be competitive. Like, yeah, so they come in and they triple our base, but it's like, it's not just they don't just slaughter us. Like
Yeah.
they struggle, like, okay, yeah, they got that last thing down at the last second. And
Yeah.
okay, we put up a high 80%. Like you feel good about that. Like going against some elite players. It's cool.
Yeah. They've got, because if they're hitting that way, right, if they are that great of attackers, then they've hit their bases, and their bases are tested by, just because the people they're probably hanging around it are better too. And and you got to get into the arena too, because it's like you don't you don't just go to the Super Bowl. You got to play a
Exactly.
season.
Yeah.
So I look at it, and we start doing these worlds. I'm just thinking, imagine where we're going to be next year at this time,
It,
during worlds.
and I look at it right now and I'm like, okay, I'm not there, but I believe that we can get there, which is, I got to remind myself of that. Like, okay, I'm not there right now,
Yeah.
but it's not that far away to get to that level where we're hitting competitively in some of these competitions. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it's like dialing it up. It seems like every month, no matter, we see it in the War Stars, but even like personally, it feels like just 1%, 1% a month. You start to just keep on it, earn it. Then we're kind of going up against tougher competition and getting into higher CWLs, and you're just getting more of that practice, which is fun and
Yeah.
keeps the keeps the game really pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite things right now because like, there's not going to be a ton of new content, I assume, that comes out between now and the release of 18.
Yeah, I don't
So for me
think
to
so.
keep it interesting, doing some of these competitions, doing some friendly wars, and doing some of the ones where you ban things or having themes, like I'd love to do a Lalo event where everybody's got to hit with Lalo. Like just do some different
Yeah.
wacky things just because it keeps it fun, keeps it fresh.
We've been doing that most Tuesdays now.
Correct. Yeah. Every
Having
Tuesday except for CW all week.
yeah, it's kind of fun. We just go Angry Wookiees and to L Warborn and fire it up. Just go hit the Barch one was really fun. I could not believe how strong Barch Army is at Town Hall 17.
Yeah, that was wild. I couldn't believe how many people tripled on with Barch armies. Like I
I
thought it was going to be like one star after one star, and
That's what I
everyone did
thought.
really good.
Well, I go in there and I'm like, okay, well, and I should just we won that one, but it probably we just have to call it a draw, I think, because I guess I needed to put on glasses or something because I had like I think we had to take 150
Of each. Yep.
of each, and I think I had 130 or 120 of one. I swear to God, I had no idea until you guys said something, but I just used my regular attack and then I started putting them in, and I just could. It almost made me think about using it as a strategy, to be honest. The only problem was how long it takes to get that many barbs and archers onto the map.
Well, you could just hold a spot, right? And like if you
Yeah,
just hold, yeah, that's what
but
I was
even
doing.
still, it's like it's taken a while. Like I thought, oh, I'll just drop them all and let them hit these buildings. It's like no, there's like a 5 second lag by the time I'm dropping, and that that part. Maybe my phone's broken. I don't know.
I had some other ideas. I forget what the other themes were, but I want to keep coming up with different wacky themes like that.
Yeah, I'll keep I'll start thinking of some things too. Yeah, you could do lots of cool things like for a season, like if it's a Christmas season or if it's like during the Halloween event, uh only the Halloween troops are
Oh
scary.
yeah,
Yeah,
that would be
and
fun.
most of them are scary looking, if you ask me. Um, well, anything we haven't got to that you want to get to?
No, I think that was everything I had on my list.
Yeah, me too. For now, that flew by. Holy crap!
Yeah, I
Uh,
really appreciate you having me on. This was
yeah,
awesome. This was a
thanks for
lot of
coming
fun.
on. Yeah, every time I'm about to see if you can do it, you're out there climbing a mountain or something.
Yeah, yeah, I'm big into rock climbing, so that's my main hobby outside of Clash.
And do you have a big climb plan for this year?
No, nothing too crazy this year. I'm doing an addition on my house, so that's kind of
Oh,
taking up
okay.
most of my time. But this winter I'll probably go out to either Montana or Colorado. Like to do a lot more winter climbing, summer climbing.
Oh man, you just when I thought rock climbing couldn't get any tougher. You do it in the winter.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
makes it a little bit more challenging, but it's fun.
Well, shout outs.
Yeah, so for me, I want to shout out Beer Zombie and Daddio. They have very similar attack styles to me, but we do it a little bit differently. So it's nice to talk to those guys and learn from them. Um,
It's funny how you
everybody, yeah,
clump
go
up
ahead.
like it's kind of funny how like little clumps of people that attack very similar
Yeah,
kind of form up now that you say that.
everybody on the comp team. So you,
Warborn,
Tip, Swim, Chewy, MVP, Beer, Tyler, and Drew joined us last Worlds too.
that was
And
awesome.
then last one is all hell. I'm an early morning player. I like to play pretty early. I'm on the East Coast. I miss
Oh,
having him because he also was an early morning player, and we would feed each other troops. So I know he's taking a little bit of leave right now. So I look forward to him coming
do you
back to the clan.
do you pop over to uh his clan here and there?
I went over there once because he has a base that has our logo, and I was trying to steal it from him, but but I didn't. I wasn't able to get it.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were going over and doing some hits or something
No, no,
with
I was just
him.
trying
I
to
think I
steal his
saw it one
base.
time. Wait till he's not looking.
Yep. I was hoping it was going to be his home base. So, like, once you're a clan member, you can just copy each other's bases. I was just going to steal it and leave.
Oh, we'll have to get him back and get him in some wars.
Yeah, that'd
Uh,
be good.
any other shout outs?
No, no, that's everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll echo. Your shout outs to the House of L. Looking for we're already in starting to think about CWL. Got that stuff posted and starting to take uh, get the rosters hopefully beforehand, and I'll get the bases on time this hopefully this month. That was just too close. Um, Shout out to the CFF people again for having that hosting that double trouble tournament. It's a lot of fun, and I'm probably not shouting out all the people that I need to shout out because it seems like there's a lot of people working on things. And like if you look at the 2v2 negotiations, it's amazing that they can pull that together with so many different pieces. So, and I'm excited to see what happens with your match, and hopefully watch the finale.
Yeah, tonight at 5 o'clock. If you want to come over to Warborn, we have our round 2 matchup. So
Ooh, five
hopefully we
o'clock.
can, yeah, go deeper in.
Awesome, that'd be exciting. Um, Shout out to Shock and for all the great content. I had to say when we were talking about the panic attack thing earlier, the war attack panic. Um, if I just go put his video on, even if I'm not, even if it's not the one that I'm doing, listening to his calmness during the attack, for some reason, just like brings my brings my brain back down to a manageable level. So he's helped me with a lot of war attacks over the last few months. Shout out to the podcast fans and to all the listeners out there. Hope you're having a great summer jam. If you want to support a podcast, you can support the Reddit Talks podcast. Coolrick promo code and Spencer is the other promo code. I'm not sure if does Shock have a promo code.
I'm
I'll have to
sure he
find
does,
out.
but I don't know it.
I think it would be Shock if it is. So I got to double check. I keep meaning to do that, to bring it up on here. Otherwise, we will be back next week with a all new episode full of fun. So till next time, keep it clashy, everybody.
Keep it clashy.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.